Then of course, again, back to analytics, you realize R&B, love songs,
off the roof.
So of course we had to go back to do that. And so we did Baby Baby. And Baby Baby was an amazing song in several ways. Of course, its numbers, the effect that it had. It was a beautiful song.
So do you sit down with Nyash and be like, you need to do an R&B song? Or he already has a catalog? Him is constantly in the writing phase. Are you the one who comes to tell the guy, this is what the back end is saying?
Actually, so here's the thing about Nyash, by the way. He's very good also in reading the analytics himself. I never really necessarily needed to go and tell him, we need to do this because the analytics are showing this. Sometimes he'd be the one to tell me, we need to do this because look at this versus look at this. So he was very in tune
with the
data. To the point, actually, Nyash used to run his YouTube channel. I used to have access to it, to upload, to put in the tags, to monitor sentiment and all that. But he used to run it, so he used to see the back end himself. So he'd be able to tell, this is coming from here, this is coming from here, the views, how long are people, watching, like down to watch time. Of course, you know that. Down
how
to
long
watch
people
time,
watch a video
how
for?
long people are watching videos.
Where's the drop off point?
Where's the drop off point? So now you ask yourself, like, does the song then need to be so long?
Or what can I do to add energy here to
exactly,
switch it up?
Exactly. So we did. He wrote Baby Baby. Then and that I can't remember who it was. Or maybe it was Nyash himself. I think it was Nyash himself who now said he wanted a story. He wanted like a story, the video to be like a story, not just an abstract video. And so we looked around to see who could deliver that. And we landed on one of the best, if not the best person.
Tosh Gitonga?
Yes. And you know what I'm about to say?
No.
I'll tell you why Tosh Gitonga is important. So
Tosh by then needs to come this seat. I've known Tosh. We from Tatanjeri when they were doing their first movie. That's way back. I think if I'm not wrong,
Tosh is one passionate person in this industry.
Yep.
Yeah? If you are ever in the industry and you want to give up, go and talk to Tosh. You'll change your mind.
Tosh, see you soon.
So we hooked up with Tosh and his team. I remember there was a lady called Iman who was working with him at the time, and she's amazing heart. And we went through the concept of Baby Baby. By that time, Joy Washira had come into the mix. So we had started we had started working together. But wait, you know what? We've jumped something. We need to go back to 2017. Let me tell you why. In 2017, and I hope I'm getting this right. In 2017, there was an artist called Jidena who came to Kenya.
Yep.
I hope I'm getting it right. That was 2017. I think, yes, it was 2017, and I know why. So when we were doing, Nyash and I had always discussed that while the shows outside of Kenya, outside of Nairobi, are very important, one of the most important shows, or rather areas to do a show for a musician.
Nigeria.
No, Nairobi.
Okay.
Let me tell you why. A show in Nairobi is not about money.
Positioning.
It's about positioning. It's about profiling yourself. A show in Nairobi is where there'll be a lot of noise on social media.
And ripple effect. So there'll be 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 people at that gig. But thanks to social media, it will go into the tens of thousands of people who will see what you brought on stage. People will talk about what you brought on stage. So 2017 when the Jidena gig came, it was a bit of a challenge because here we had said atukatendraisie Niger, sindio? You know Jidena is Nigerian.
Yeah, he's Nigerian,
but because he's based in the US,
yes.
we you know
Yep.
we let that slide.
Yep.
But the reason why we did that was because for us, this show was such a huge opportunity. And I'll tell you why. This show was such a huge opportunity because that was now our chance to show the Nairobi audience. And you know, the Nairobi audience is not just the audience that will go on social media.
Yep.
Your brand managers and marketing managers.
That's where you're getting your tunes from.
That's where they are. And in that actual show,
that's where
Jidena,
they are.
Because let me tell you, I'll tell you this. Out of the amount that Nyash was paid, there is 70,000 shillings up to this day that has never been paid. We spent about 80% of what had been paid in putting up the show.
What do you mean? Like bands? Like what do you mean by in putting up the show?
So,
because you're not the organizers of that show.
Yes.
You guys are just coming to your performers of that show.
Yes.
So you're saying 80% of that you spent to prepare for a performance. Okay, explain this one to me.
So there's the band. There's extra equipment. Like say for example, Sedo needed the two or three tire keyboard setup,
the cogs and all those
for
things
him to do the thing that he was doing. There was we had to talk to someone. So that time Malaika was big. So we really wanted a performance, and I'll show you that photo of that performance. So we really wanted a major thing to be talked about in that performance. And what we did was we talked to a supplier who we paid on our own, who got us a crane, and we put us, you know, why am I forgetting it? And it's in the film, whatever. The thing that has it's a crane and then has a seat at the top there.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, and then the camera guy is there.
Yes. So we got that, and then we got a dancer, an acrobat stroke dancer from Sarakasi, who did rehearsals, and then we bought her a wedding dress. I don't know if we bought or rented, I can't remember. But you know, even if you're renting, it's not cheap.
Yeah.
And then we got her on that, so that when Nyash was performing Malaika, then we brought her up like this, you know. So he was singing to her, and that was a beautiful picture.
Yeah.
But you see, it was such stunts. Oh, and then also that show, then we did a Fresh Prince Jazzy Jeff kind of thing, where now Jazzy Jeff was played by Sedo and Styles. So we had Sedo and Styles. So it was a really, really major show.
Okay, I get it.
And you know the beauty of that? Somebody, a major executive at that show, saw that show, she was there, and she told her people, I want this guy.
Okay, that's crazy. So first and foremost, you dropped gems. Okay,
so thanks to that show, we got several deals, including a 1-year brand ambassador deal for Nyash for Songa in 2018. Remember Safaricom Songa 2018, where then we went round with Safaricom.
The Spotify that wasn't
live. Yes, for Safaricom Live.
For that time, it was not called even Safaricom Live. Was it called Safaricom Live?
It was called Safaricom
also,
Live.
they
no, sorry, Twaweza Live.
Yes, Twaweza Live.
Yes, so we did Twaweza Live.
Tabia za kupendeza roho, tabasamu ya kupapasa macho, sauti yako nikisikia, Remo wako lini nasa roho, siku ya kwanza kukuona kwa macho, sa moyoni umekwambia siwezi kutania, ndo nipunguzie. See you in my dreams when I sleep, feel you in my air when you're the one I've been waiting for all. Now deep down in my heart I believe unani feel na kufeel ini real, one I've been waiting for all. Uko sawa na wote malaika na mabawa yao, wote wanakuiga wendo mama yao, ni wewe nachagua sisemi. Oh baby uko sawa na wote malaika na mabawa yao, wote wanakuiga wendo mama yao, ni wewe nachagua sisemi. Oh sisemi, oh sisemi. Oh darling, I love you. Oh I love you baby. Hey hey hey. Hey hey. Hey hey. Even though I've never been here before, somehow I know that.
So imagine
Because of that
gig,
performance.
that gig gave us that whole year deal.
Okay, so but this is what's blowing my mind. You guys saw this, so you guys were able to say, first and foremost, we will cut and raise for this Niger.
Yeah, yeah.
Even though in the lyrics,
Yeah.
there's that, you get.
Yes.
But this for us is not about the chums.
Yes.
This for us is about the understanding who is in the audience, understanding the impact that this gig will have for us in terms of our longevity
Yes.
and the deals that we will make.
Yes.
And also from them, in my view, I'm like them seeing that performance of such high caliber that that their imagination of your price goes higher.
Yes. Because now, by the time then you're giving a technical rider, for example, they've seen what you're doing. So they can see,
Just
okay, this
brilliant.
guy is asking for some things here, but we are, because now they know Nyash is a one-man show, but then after seeing that, they know there's a band.
Yes.
And in that band, it's not just a band, there's Sedo.
And there's another
Then
DJ
there's
somewhere.
a DJ there, Then they see all this. And then now here is where, because it's showbiz, there are some extra things then you end up doing. So some of these clients end up making it backstage. So what you do is you make a sophisticated mess backstage where you do some things like say you have some of his boys backstage, then they have to walk with him to the stage,
Yeah.
and the client asks, why are you doing that? Because we don't want any distractions before he goes on stage. Because if backstage is full of other people,
Exactly, yeah.
as you're going from backstage to get onto the stage, there's so and so trying to say hi to you, you may lose your
zone.
Yeah. So, and then things like, say, and for Nyash, this is usually very important, like say 15 minutes to 30 minutes before the show, he just wants to be alone. So that he gets in the zone. So you keep people away from him, but of course you do it in a soft way. Now, all these things the client sees. So imagine someone like a major client who comes to you and says, can I go say hi to Nyash? Then you tell them, not now, until after the show. Then they wonder, they look at you like, you don't know who I am?
Exactly.
And you actually call them by name like, yeah, I know who you are, but
After
this
the
is how
show.
we do it.
Yeah.
So what's he doing now? He's getting into the zone. He's alone. So you can't even take the client and show them like, you make them peep like, there he is, but no one goes in.
Yeah.
But
But it's also for the artist.
it's for the artist.
And it's for the performance that he's going to deliver.
Let me tell you, and I was telling Dero earlier today that Nameless taught me this. I'd never been able to verbalize. There's a situation where an artist asked Nameless
a client asked Nameless, like, you're a man, why do you need a mirror backstage for you? Why? So Nameless explained to the client, this mirror is actually for your own good. Because this is what happens. As an artist, I'll dress up. When I look at myself in the mirror before going on stage, it builds my confidence. Because I look at myself and I see I look good. It gives me confidence and I'll go and kill that show. And it's for your benefit. So that mirror is not for me, it's for you.
Welcome back, Fakii. I've enjoyed this.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm. Let me tell you, I'm very happy to hear this level of detail that artists go in their performance, and it's not being divaness. You get the difference?
Yeah.
There are some guys who cross into divaness with this same antics, but these ones are very calculated for them to be in the best zone that they can be in for the best delivery to the audience. So it's good to hear that, okay, this is why this has been done and this is why. And I think it's even good that guys are hearing this. Yeah.
It's like, let me give you another example. Like, I know the kind of people who make Nyash be at ease. So I make sure they are around him. So like, for example, I'll always make sure UB is there. I'll always make sure Big Pin is there.
Big Pin.
You know, if Roba is in town because he moved to Malindi, if he's in Nairobi, I'll make sure he's there. You know, there's a guy called Charlie, I'll make sure he's there. There's a guy called Solo, I'll make sure he's there. You know, there's that crew that just Nyash feels himself. So like in this story where I talked about Amira, so yes, you'll have a mirror for Nyash, but also these guys give him that energy.
That is so dope.
just knowing that, knowing the importance of those guys. So when I fight with the client to give me those number of backstage passes, there's a reason. I'm not just trying to get people backstage to hang out.
So Fakii, let me ask a question.
Sorry.
No,
Aki,
great
sorry,
vibe.
before
No,
I-
they were to engage
you know the way, because you're a hip hop head, you'd know this. You know the way there's that guy who's always with Busta Rhymes.
Yes, a spliff.
Spliff.
Yeah.
That's the role Spliff plays in Busta Rhymes. And if you think even Jay-Z has
working a McMill.
yes. There's another guy. If you watch,
Not McMill. Memphis Blick.
no, there's a guy, he's not even an artist, but if you watch Fade to Black, he's around Jay-Z all the time. Like, he's the only one who is trusted to go and bring Jay-Z's mom backstage, you know, like even Jay-Z, they're on first name basis with you know, the mom. So there's always, so it's about management is also about knowing what's the environment you create for your artist to prosper. I think the first, I'm getting what you're asking. So you have to carefully be two people at the same time to the artist, but you need to know where to draw the line. You're the manager, yes, but you also become his friend so that you understand. So in fact, let me put it this way. I was manager to Nyashinski, but I was a friend to Nyamari. So I got to understand who Nyamari is when he gets off stage. when he gets off stage, what does he like to do? When he's at home, what does he want to do? Like there are many times when someone would want to accompany me because they know I'm going to Nyash to see him wherever. But I have to know that, no, I can't go with this person because, yes, yeah. You know, like, in fact, again, Nameless explains it very well. So you know where Nameless lives.
Yes.
From his house, he can walk out and go to the shop before the corner. So he wants to go and buy milk. So David Madenge wants to go and buy milk. But as soon as he steps out of his gate, the guy
across the street doesn't see David Madenge, he sees Nameless. So now David has to dress up into Nameless just to go to the shop. Do you get that?
I get it.
And it can be tiring.
Yep.
It can be tiring.
But also, this,
You did a wedding, right?
yeah.
At your wedding, you smiled a lot.
Yeah.
Did you have these pains of uku after smiling the whole day to people?
No.
Like me, I had them. So these guys go through that all the time. Because you're like, you know, so at some point you get tired here, you know.
Yeah.
Now imagine pre-COVID, how many handshakes?
Oh, I get.
How many handshakes? And then there's also the pain of everyone expecting you to remember them. So let me tell you, after I did the first CTAs, that thing confused me. Because you meet someone and then they say hi to you with so much psych, you start feeling guilty because you don't remember them. But then some of them, they save you, they tell you, I know you don't know me, but I know you from CTA. I'm like, oh, thank God, at least I'm not being a bad person. Until I read a few comments, someone said, I didn't know Fakii before this, but now I feel like I'm his best friend. So that made me understand what the impact of CTA. But as we are not even at that level, then the level that these guys are in, so just back to answering your question,
Oh, that's deep. Okay, go on.
there's as a manager, you'd really need to understand that. Now, you'd also need to play bad cop. So there's some things that someone will come and request. And the artist can't say no. But it's your job to say no. It's your job to say no to the point where the artist looks at that person and gives a face of Fakii amekataa. You know.
Oh, that's so deep.
But you have to play that because he can't do it. Let me tell you, there's one day I was standing at, I'll never forget, I was standing at the Total. But this was last year. I was standing at the Total next to Kenya National Examination Council office on Dennis Street. And I was buying some medicine from the chemist. When I walked out, I met BN. So we started talking. So you see where the chemist is at the end. So we started talking there. But it was a bit dark, so we were easy. So we started talking. Someone who was fueling their car, like almost 50 meters away, saw BN and then shouted, BN! So he turned and waved, you know. Then we continued talking. Then that person said, come we take a photo. And BN looked at me. Imagine I held his hand. Then I shouted at that person, you come. Because imagine, what is that? You're the one who's asking for a photo. You're acting like you own him. It's like because you listened to his song, you own him. No.
But it's so good that you did that. In fact, you because he moved into artist mode.
Yeah.
Instantly.
Yeah.
When he's talking to you, you're talking as pal.
Yeah.
Then when that person said, come and take a photo, now he became BN of South Soul, not BN just.
Yes.
That's deep.
So I've seen a lot of pain that artists go through with that. So you have to learn. The other thing that as a manager you'd need to do is to observe other managers. Like when you go for a gig. In fact, sometimes like when there's a gig, even if your artist is not performing, you go for that gig, see how other artists are being treated, what they are doing, how the managers are doing, you know, things like that.